With the 2016 election coming up right around the corner, it is important that we as citizens take a step back and truly understand what it means to be a Republican, to be a Democrat, to be part of the Independent Party. It's important to know how these parties influence one another and how they influence the individual voters across the country. So, on today's agenda, we will define a political party. We will then go into the United States political party system and specifically look at the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, and the Independent Party. We'll then go through a brief history of the United States political party system, kind of what led us to where we are today. We will highlight the political spectrum and where your viewpoints may lie on this spectrum. And then we will pick apart each aspect of political parties. The Republicans' beliefs, the Democrats' beliefs, the Independents' beliefs, and so on. And then we'll kind of end with their specific party platforms. So first things first, what is a political party? A political party is an organized group of people with common beliefs and values who try to get their candidates elected to public office. These groups take a stand on important issues and present ways of solving. Political parties typically have 5 roles. First is the recruitment of candidates to run for election. Second is to inform and inspire voters. Third is to play the role of the watchdog, which means that they monitor the activity of other political parties. Number 4 is to ensure candidate quality, and number 5 is to help govern. The United States is what is referred to as a two-party system in which 2 major parties vie for office while other minor parties exist. The 2 major parties in the United States are the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. One typically holds a majority in the legislative while the other is the minority. Despite the dominance of these 2 parties, there are minor parties like the Green Party, the Libertarian Party, and the American Independent Party that also have candidates running each election for office. The major difference between major and minor parties in the United States are very distinctly shown through membership total, donation or funding, and strength of their candidates. Despite warning from our founding fathers, 2 political parties were created following the Constitution in 1776. These 2 parties were called the Anti-Federalists and the Federalists. The Anti-Federalists typically followed Thomas Jefferson and called themselves the Democratic Republicans. In 1828, Andrew Jackson, a Democratic Republican, was elected president and changed his party name to the Democrats. Between the years 1836 and 1852, the Whig Party gave Democrats strong opposition and formed the basis for our 2-party system in the United States. Following this, in 1854, anti-slavery forces created the Republican Party, which for many years ran the majority. A major division between the 2 parties came in the early 1930s when the Great Depression struck the country. The presidential election of 1932 brought in Franklin Delano Roosevelt and his New Deal programs. Roosevelt Democrats thought that the federal government must actively help people who had been hurt by the Depression. Under the New Deal, the government passed economic relief measures, Social Security laws, helping unions, and other bills. Republicans opposed this and thought the government was taking too much power and moving the country toward a welfare state. Republicans have fared very successfully since the election of 1968 to the present. Since then, only 3 Republican or Democratic presidents have been elected president. This is Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and President Obama. There has been an argument that instead of realignment, the United States is experiencing a period of de-alignment, which means that there's a loosening of party ties. So since the 1970s, more voters have identified themselves as independents, which is not belonging to either party, or have been voting as split-ticket voters. Split-ticket voters means that they vote for both Republicans and Democrats in the same election. Split-ticket voting has produced a number of divided governments in which one party controls the presidency and the other party controls the House at least one House of Congress, either the Senate or the House of Representatives. Before diving into the party platforms of Republicans and Democrats, it's important to see where their ideals lie on the political spectrum. The political spectrum is a concept for representing different political stances in relation to one another. So when you hear left wing or left or right wing or right, this is where the political parties lie according to their stance on the political spectrum. So as you can see, this is the political spectrum, and democracy is in the middle. You have Democrats on the left and Republicans on the right. So you can see that Democrats value social change, going more towards radical, and Republicans have the status quo, going more towards reactionary. So this kind of political discourse is important because then you will know when they say left wing or right wing where the Republicans, where the Democrats lie. The Republican Party was founded in 1854 in reaction to the anti-slavery movement. They are sometimes referred to as the GOP or the Grand Old Party. Their symbol is the elephant and are represented by the color red. Their philosophy lies along the right side of the political spectrum and tend to favor a conservative stance on big issues like abortion, immigration, the death penalty, and gay marriage. They believe that our country was founded on individual rights and justice and favor a flat tax. This means that regardless of an individual's income, each citizen should be taxed the same. They typically believe in less government involvement and that the government should not play a big role in people's lives or social issues like healthcare. The Democratic Party was founded in 1824 and are represented by a donkey and the color blue. Their philosophy lies along the left side of the political spectrum and tend to favor a liberal stance on big issues like abortion, immigration, gay marriage. They believe that our country is based on community and social responsibility. They believe in minimum wage and progressive taxes. This means that there are higher rates for higher income taxes. They believe that the government involvement is necessary to protect and help citizens. An independent or nonpartisan politician is an individual politician not affiliated to any political party. So we talked a little bit about third parties, which are the minor parties in the political system, like the Green Party, there's a Constitution Party, the American Independent Party, and so on. But there are candidates who decide to not be affiliated with any party. This is important because they choose to stand as independent because they may support policies which are different from those of the major political parties. They don't want to be stuck with the label as being a Democrat or with the label as being a Republican, so they choose to run as independent. Studies show that millennial children, which are ages 18 to 24, are most influenced by their parents when choosing a political party, but they often lean more towards being identified as leaners, which means that they are independent of a political party but lean more to one side when addressing certain issues or when they're voting. With the 2016 election coming up, it is important as a citizen to stay informed, stay educated when viewing the candidates, and make sure you focus on their party platforms. So a party platform is a set of statements describing a party's view on specific issues facing the nation. They can be found at a candidate's website or the party website. Political parties fight hard to get their candidates elected to office, and it's through primary and the caucus that they determine and dwindle down to the one candidate that will represent their party. Remember, your vote counts, so get educated, stay informed, and go make a difference.